This is Epic Book Recaps, a podcast that offers complimentary audio summaries of influential nonfiction books, making learning a smarter experience. An Immense World by Yong. Imagine if you could be a doggy. Woof, woof. Or how about knowing why those pesky mosquitoes love our yummy blood? Do you think ticks see the world in cool colors like us? Or is it just black and white for them? And what about tastes and sounds and all the other amazing things we sense? You see, there's this fancy word called Umwelt. Ooh, fancy. It's a German word that means the environment, but it's more like a special bubble of how we experience our world. Each living creature has their own Umwelt, and it's like our very own way of seeing things. Isn't that neat? But wait, don't worry if it sounds a bit limiting, because to us and other critters, it's all we've ever known. It's like a super-duper illusion that makes us think it's the only way things are. But guess what? There's so much more to discover. So, let's keep an open mind and learn about the amazing world around us. You know, there are more than just the 5 senses we humans have. This cool summary will show us how animals perceive things, and trust me, it's gonna blow your socks off. It's totally different from how we see things, and it's gonna make you go, wow, I never knew that. Get ready for an adventure like no other, my friends. Let's dive right in and explore the wondrous world of senses together. Something smells fishy. If you have a furry friend, this groovy chapter will help you understand them better. Dogs are all about their sniffer skills, man. They dig sniffing everything in sight, but how does their sense of smell groove? When we breathe in, smells enter our nostrils, but when we breathe out, we lose them. But dogs, man, their noses are built differently. They've got these cool apostrophe-shaped holes that let them breathe in while breathing out. Far out, right? That's how they can sniff out a scent trail, dude. When you take your pup for a walk, let them take their sweet time sniffing around. It's their way of exploring the world, man. But noses aren't the only way creatures sniff things out. Ants, for example, use their antennae to pick up pheromones from their surroundings. And hold up, don't get it twisted. Pheromones ain't just about getting all lovey-dovey. It's like a secret language ants use to communicate. They mark trails and even call for action with these funky chemicals. Now get this, there's another critter that uses its tongue to sniff. Can you dig it? Snakes, man. Their tongues may be famous for being all forked, but they're actually super smart tools. They don't have taste buds, but these tongues help them see the world in a groovy way. The forks of the tongue gather chemicals from different directions, guiding the snake to safety or a tasty treat. If there's no smell of food on the left, but a scent on the right, the snake will head right on over. And if there's no smell at all, it'll keep on slithering forward until it finds something delicious. So you see, the world of smells is totally rad, and our animal pals have some wild ways of experiencing it. Keep on sniffing, my friend. Keep an eye on the eyes. Smelly receptors help sniff out smells. But there's another kind of receptor called opsins that can catch those zooming molecules. And guess what? That's how we see things. When it comes to seeing stuff, jumping spiders are just like us humans. Most other spiders rely on touch, but these jumping spiders are all about sight. They have special eyes, some for seeing and others for spotting movement. Now, starfish have eyes that are just perfect for them. Can you believe it? Their eyes are right at the tips of their fingers. Yup, they have eyes on all 5 arms. They might not see colors or motion, but they can see big things that they need to stay away from. That's all they need, after all. If we want to understand how animals see the world, we need to know what they use their senses for. And when it comes to colors, it's important to know how they work. Light has different wavelengths, and those wavelengths make different colors. Like blue is between 450 and 495 nanometers, and green is between 495 and 570 nanometers. Humans have 3 cones in their eyes that are like little sensors for different colors: red, green, and blue. But dogs and horses are a little different. They only have 2 cones, so they're called dichromats. You know what that means? It's harder for them to see certain colors. Like orange markers are like invisible to horses, but yellow, blue, or white markers are super easy for them to spot. Oh, and did you know that some people are also dichromats? It doesn't mean they have a problem, it just means they see the world in their own special way. Remember, everyone has their own special talents that help them understand the world better, like those griffin vultures in Spain. They kept crashing into plane turbines because they have blind spots in their vision. When they're flying high and looking down for food, they can't see what's right above their heads. Silly vultures. So let's keep our eyes open and appreciate all the different ways animals see the world. It's pretty amazing, don't you think? Oh, what a big boo-boo. Boo-boos are different for everyone, just like how animals see colors in their own special way. Our bodies have little sensors called nociceptors that tell us when something hurts. These sensors are in our skin and organs, and they react to all sorts of things that cause us pain. Now here's the tricky part. There are two things to understand about pain, the pain itself and the nociception. Let's say you accidentally touch a hot kettle. Ouch! That's the nociceptors sensing the heat. They send a message to your brain, and your brain goes, hey, this hurts. That's the pain part. They may seem similar, but they're kind of like best friends, always together but still different. Pain can stick around longer, while nociception is what starts it all. But what about animals? A long time ago, people believed animals couldn't feel pain or emotions. Luckily, we've learned more since then. Now we know that mammals definitely feel pain. This creates a problem for scientists who study pain because they sometimes have to hurt animals on purpose to learn more. It's a real moral dilemma. Instead of trying to figure out if animals feel pain like we do, it's better to think about why they might need to feel pain. Maybe it helps them adapt to their environment or teaches them important things. By looking at it this way, we can learn more about how animals experience life here on Earth. Even though we might not always understand exactly how much pain animals feel, it's super important to treat them with kindness and compassion. There are lots of organizations that work really hard to make sure animals don't have to go through unnecessary pain, whether it's in tests or in the food industry. By recognizing that animals feel pain too, we can make the world a better place for all the creatures, big and small. Remember, be careful with how you treat animals. Let's avoid causing them any unnecessary ouchies. An amazing adventure. When we touch things, we can feel pain, but we can also connect with the whole wide world. It's like a special bond between everything and all the creatures that explore through touch. Our fingers are super sensitive and touchy, but guess what? The star-nosed mole is even more incredible. It has 11 pairs of finger-like rays on its nose with tons of touch sensors. It's like a superpower for exploring and finding its way around. The mole can even make a 3D model of its surroundings by pressing its snout against walls or objects. How cool is that? Not only moles, but other animals also rely on touch when they can't see very well. Just look at mallards. Their beaks may seem strong and just for pecking, but they're actually covered in something called keratin. It's like what our fingernails are made of. And guess what? Duck beaks have lots of touch receptors that help them find food in murky waters. They're like little touch detectives. Have you ever seen a mouse or a rat whisking around? It's so cute. They have these long whiskers that sit in little cups filled with nerves and receptors. These send messages to their brain, helping them understand their surroundings. It's like they have a special touch map of the world. But did you know that cats and dogs don't have whiskers like that? They have other ways to explore their surroundings, just like us humans and apes. Let's take a moment to appreciate the sense of touch. It's really important. Oh, and don't forget to give hugs to your loved ones. They're the best. You know, for some creatures, touch can be a matter of life or death. Like tiger wandering spiders. They have so many tiny hairs on their legs, it's unbelievable. These hairs are super sensitive, like little spider antennas. They can feel even the tiniest changes in the air. So, instead of making a web to catch food, the spider waits patiently for its prey to come to it. It's like a stealthy ninja spider. Can you imagine having hairs so sensitive that you can catch a fly just by feeling it? Wow. So, let's celebrate the magic of touch and all the amazing things it can do. It's like having a superpower right at our fingertips. Music to my ears. Gee, for a super duper long time, people have been thinking that vibrations are just for seeing stuff. But guess what? They're actually super important for animals when it comes to hearing. Humans might not be able to hear some things, but tree hoppers and crickets sure can. They use vibrations to talk to each other, like their own special language. It's kind of silly how we let our ideas get in the way sometimes. We might miss out on something cool right in front of our noses. Now, owls are another story. They have super sharp hearing that helps them hunt at night. Imagine, they have ears just like ours, but their whole face is like an ear. Their feathers and big ear openings behind their eyes make them amazing listeners. It's like they have their own special radio system. Oh, and you know those beautiful bird songs? Well, they have a scientific twist, too. The songs of an Australian zebra finch sound so lovely to us humans. But do other finches hear them the same way? Well, in terms of pitch, yes. But when it comes to speed, things get really interesting. Back in the 1960s, this clever scientist named Masakazu Konishi did some experiments with sparrows. He played super quick clicks for them and checked their brain activity. Turns out, birds process sounds way faster than we do. Even when the clicks were super close together, like just a few milliseconds apart, the sparrows' brains fired in perfect sync. Can you believe that? Cats, on the other hand, struggle to keep up with those speedy clicks. They can only match the rhythm about 10% of the time. Silly kitties. So my friend, next time you learn something new, remember to be curious and not jump to conclusions. Hearing is pretty amazing, you know? It can work from really far away, even in the dark, and can even go through walls. It's way faster than smell too, like the speed of sound. No wonder some animals rely on their hearing so much. Isn't it fun to learn new things? I hope you enjoyed this little adventure into the world of hearing. The sneaky senses you can't see. Fishy electricity was a thing way before humans figured out what electricity even meant. Around 350 fish buddies can zap out electromagnetic waves, and this superpower helped scientists learn lots about electricity. The electric eel is the boss of this game, with enough voltage to give a horse a shocking surprise. Living in murky waters and having not so great eyesight, electric eels found a clever solution with their electric powers. It helps them find their next meal. They have 3 cool ways to use their electric magic. 1, they use a little zap to locate their prey. 2, when it's hunting time, they give a quick and powerful jolt. 3, and when it's time to attack, they go all out with the highest frequency shock. But wait, there's more. Animals have another secret tool they use to survive on Earth. Turtles, lobsters, and lots of other creatures have this special power called magnetoreception. It helps them find their way in foggy places, discover hidden paths in deep waters, or even soar through cloudy skies. It's like their secret superpower for traveling. But even though it's super important to these critters, it's not really well studied. Let's appreciate the amazing mix of life on Earth and work hard to keep it safe. The coolest magnet navigators are definitely sea turtles. In 1991, a smart cookie named Ken Lohman found out that turtles don't have just 1, but 2 magnetic senses. The first one helps them figure out the angle where the Earth's magnetic field lines meet the ground. It's like drawing lines that are super straight at the top and totally parallel at the middle. The second sense is all about the strength of the magnetic field, which changes in different parts of the world. It's like turtles have their own built-in GPS using these magnetic tricks, helping them read the Earth's magnetic map as they swim around in the ocean. Hey, did you know? When people say we only have 5 senses, they're not entirely right. We actually have 2 more secret ones: proprioception, which is all about knowing where our body is, and equilibrioception, the sense of balance. Pretty cool, huh? All the senses are super duper important for living beings to work properly. Animals use all their senses together to figure out what's good and what's not. And guess what? We should do the same to understand how other creatures experience life on Earth. Learning about animals and their senses is so important. It helps us understand their lives, not just how we can use them for ourselves. We should study and pay attention to every little thing about them, even if it seems tiny to us, because it means the whole world to animals. Here are some fun things you can do to learn more. Go to the park and watch how dogs behave, or what those little ants in the grass are up to. It's like a secret spy mission. Visit a special museum that lets you experience the world like visually impaired people do. You'll see things in a whole new way. Look up this cool project called In the Eyes of the Animal by Marshmallow Laser Feast. It lets you explore forests through the eyes of different animals. How awesome is that? So let's use our senses just like animals do and dive into the amazing world of creatures around us.